And what's going on, guys? Alex here, and today I'd like to talk to you about adult money. Some time ago, I came across this meme on TikTok.
Don't get me wrong, being an adult and living on your own is pretty great. The only problem is that I now have access to adult money, which means I can buy whatever I want, which means I end up buying shit like this.
And I found this meme pretty funny, I thought, hehe, funny, I have nothing in common with these people. I sat and ordered my third mouse from Amazon together with some RGB lights. So, right now let's talk about adult money and the problem why this phenomenon really exists. So, first of all, the first thing which I can really think of is that there is no financial management classes at school. Economics, yes, but it has nothing in common with personal finance management related problems. And the thing is that nowadays people, and especially teenagers, have access to a really good amount of money much faster than their parents did. And so they don't have such type of experience in order to manage it properly. And the thing is that right now, teenagers can actually become really rich pretty fast. And right now I'm not talking only about, some kind of bloggers, influencers and so on. I'm talking about freelancers, like, if you can do Photoshop really good or you can edit videos, you can simply make a really good amount of money on Upwork and so on, right? Now there is internet, and internet gave you access to lots of jobs, to lots of vacancies, and so you can really use this in order to make really good amount of money. And so then when you have them, you don't really know how to manage them properly in order to make even much bigger amount of money. The thing is that I haven't heard very much from millennials about such type of thing as early retirement. Let me explain this a little bit more. The thing is that retirement basically is that a big amount of money which is given to you in a small portions for the rest of your life. So usually in social-based countries, it's made by government, and you can also have private funds, of course. And you can retire even if you are in like your 30s. The only thing you need is really good amount of money. So the thing is that I haven't heard about it very much, but essentially it's not a really difficult thing to make. And the only thing you need to do is to cut your expenses, to invest properly, and then you can really do whatever you want for the rest of your life, in an adequate amount, of course. And I haven't heard about it a lot, simply because it was not the thing which was spoken about at school or somewhere else. I have only heard about it because I was looking for some type of retirement funds, and then I came across about this interesting thing. And back to the subject is that financial management is really important. And if you have access to a big amount of money, that's much more important, because you really have lots of money with no idea how to use them, and the only thing you can think about is to spend them on useless things. So here we have one of the results of this problem. The next aspect I can think about is psychologically to compensate what you didn't have access to. This is very common in Eastern Europe countries where families were mostly not very rich, especially in 1990s. And today, when these children have access to adult money, they tend to buy very useless things simply because they want to, because they didn't have access to it. They buy lots of toys, they buy lots of games, and so on, simply because they try to compensate what they didn't have when they were kids. And that's okay, but in most cases, this psychological compensation combines with no financial management, and so at the end of the day, these people tend to buy more useless things than their peers from more richer families, from the more Western bloc, from USA and so on, but in USA it is also very, very popular thing. The next thing is that it's really easy to buy something right now. For example, Amazon in Latvia doesn't officially exist, but delivers to Latvia and delivers in pretty convenient way right at your doorstep in a week's time, and you can still offer almost anything. And the prices on Amazon, as you well know, probably are much lower than at your local stores. And so it's much easier to order something, and it's much more convenient, and so you tend to buy more even useless stuff, and especially if the prices on these platforms like Amazon are much lower than they are at your local store. So you think like, okay, I can order this because that's a much greater offer, isn't it? And so at the end of the day, you have lots of useless stuff, don't you? And also, one of the problems is that in order to buy something at your local store, you need to leave your house, you need to go to the store, you need to buy something and to go back. But in order to buy something from Amazon, the only thing you need is a positive bank account and internet access, and that's it. And then you can simply buy some stuff from the internet, and even for Latvia, where Amazon doesn't officially exist, in a week's time, this thing will be delivered to your doorstep by a courier. And that's simply amazing, yes, but it's too convenient, and that's why you tend to buy lots of useless stuff. Right now, I'd like to make a little of throwback to my previous points and to talk a little bit more about who are today's adults who have access to adults' money. They are still kids in their soul, and today's adults are like 20-25 years old who earn pretty good amount of money. And as I said before, these people are not just influencers, they are IT specialists. Even I make a little bit more than average Latvian salary, and I'm still a student who hasn't graduated something more than high school. And still I make more than an average salary, and so I tend to buy useless stuff as well. And the thing is that I am questioning why I'm doing this. First of all, because I can. Yes, okay. But then also there are more points. For example, one of these points also is wanting what all people have. I'm guilty myself in this point. For example, this year monitor lamps, the lamps which are located on the top of the monitor as Xiaomi monitor lamp, BenQ screen bar and similar products, are used at the most of the desk setups on YouTube. So I thought, yeah, I really need this. And I have bought one too. Not because I need one, but because simply it gives a feeling of belonging to some kind of other society. And that, by the way, is the next point, that today's internet have gave us access to other people's lives. And so we're copycatting one another. The people we like, the people we want to be like, and so on. Even something that looks really beautiful, we copycat that as well. We tend to copycat. And even before internet was invented, we were mimicking each other. We were imitating others' people unconsciously. And now when we have access to other people's private life through Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and even God's forsaken Facebook, it became much easier. And big companies are helping us to fulfill the need to be like others, devoid into our lives with the products which we do not actually need, but which we simply liked by looking at them. And that brings us to the next point, targeted ads. People right now have personal internet profile. And I'm not talking about Facebook or Instagram profile. I'm talking about consumption profile. Our likes, our needs, which profiles do we use the most? Which profiles do we visit the most? Which social group are we belonging? Who are we actually mimicking? All of this is used for targeted ads, and the targeted ads gave us access to the thing which you are like scrolling through your feed on Instagram and like, yay, I see this ad. I like this thing, so it's a really good discount on this useless stuff. I think I'll buy one. That's actually like one click away. So you click it, you buy it, and you spend lots of money on this useless thing. The next thing also you can make a throwback before, and these are influencers. People like this, or like influencers, mostly show the better versions of themselves. They set unrealistic standards, which we are trying to mimic. Everyone knows that. But the thing is that they are not always trying to do that because they're so like big corporate sponsored. The thing is that everyone tries to show themselves in a better light. And other people who are watching this, modern people, are so unhappy with their lives because they feel like they look at other people's lives through YouTube the same, and they set unrealistic standards to themselves because they feel like other people are happy, they have these things, and so they try to mimic their life at least partially in order to be at least partially happy, same as these people are. And that's one of the reasons why people actually buy useless stuff, because they think that maybe that was the one thing which I really lacked in order to be happy. And also, next thing, which is really important, is perfectionism. That everything should be perfect, even if you can't afford it. For example, my latest compulsive thought is making my workplace at home perfect. So I ordered perfect desk, I changed my perfectly functioning chair, bought additional keyboard and lots of mice that I didn't actually need it. And the thing is that if you, in theory, can improve something money can buy, you probably will improve it, because if money can buy it, it can be really easily improved. For example, you can improve yourself, for example, by going to the gym. But in order to go to the gym, you should not only pay for the gym. You need to visit the gym regularly. You need to look for what you eat. You need to actually exercise. You need to spend time. And it's really hard as a thing to improve your health. But if we're talking about improvement, what money can buy, it is like a quick time event. And that's why it's much easier improvement for your life, at least for your mind. Yeah, it's much easier improvement than like long-term improvement, which will actually improve your life. And if we're talking still about perfectionism, the thing is that we're trying to do like everything like to be the best. For example, the same example with my table and with my workspace. My workspace is perfectly fine, was perfectly fine. And I didn't actually need something so fancy as I have right now. And by the way, I'm planning on having like a setup tour of my working space for 2022 in like January, when everything I have ordered will arrive and I will set it up. And the thing is that people have compulsive thoughts about it, more or less about different aspects of their life. For example, some of the people who are visiting gym, they're like, I will have a perfect bottle, perfect outfit. I will have everything perfect. And when they have bought everything, every single thing they need, and when every single thing they need is perfect, right after that, the thing they do is they either find another compulsive thing to improve, or they improve their gym setup even more. And that's how people really exist. The only question is, how compulsive are their thoughts? Some people tend to make everything so perfect. It's like, it's already perfect, but they trying to make it even better. More and more. Other people, they're like, okay, it's already perfect, I'll find another thing to improve. And the problem here is that people are trying to set up everything perfect, even if they cannot afford it, even if they have access to the adults' money. Because the problem is that if you have access to the adult money, probably you have like a credit card and a positive credit score, at least for a little time. And that's why you have like access to even more money which aren't actually yours. And here I'd like to talk about actually myself and adult money. As I have mentioned before, I began working as a medical assistant, it's more like a nurse, in a cardiac ICU. And the thing is that if you're working in ICU, they pay you pretty much a lot. And the thing also is that before I was working like full-time job, like 160 hours per month, and my salary was something about 600 euros. It's not a lot. It's not a lot at all. But right now, if I'm working full-time job at cardiac ICU, my salary is something about 1,200 euros. So it's like much bigger improvement than you can even really think about, because the average salary for Latvia is something about 1,000 euro. So it's more than an average salary for Latvia. And keep in mind that that's the salary for a medical assistant, the person who hasn't graduated medical school yet, who has graduated, the only thing is that high school he has graduated. And also, the thing is that right after my like first, second, third salary, I was like, yay, I am having lots of money. Okay, let's keep it. And right after that, I saw like, oh, it's Black Friday. There are really good discounts. I should buy something. It's Cyber Monday. I should buy something as well. And right after, I was having like big amount of money, so big that I can really pay for my tuition partially. That I can buy the food I like, do the things I like. And right after that, I was like, okay, right now I have left money. I have like negative a little bit credit card score right now, but you know, I can spend a little bit. I can improve something. I can improve the workplace I'm sitting at. And so I bought additional mice. Like I was having, and still I have, like perfectly functioning Logitech MX Master 3. It's like wonderful mice. I really love it. It's perfect for work. But the thing is, I also like to game a little bit. Like for that, I have like a cheap gamepad, like $20. Okay. Why? I thought like, it's on discount. I can buy a mice or two. So I bought. The same goes with the keyboard. I was like, I am having like pretty good Logitech G915 keyboard. It's a low-profile mechanical keyboard. I like the sound, I like the tactility, I like the switches, I like everything. But I was like, yeah, I can buy like 60% one. It's like, it's a white, it has optical switches. They are more like, they're soft. It's a 60%, like, why not? It's on discount as well. So I bought one as well. The same goes with for example, with the Stream Deck. I'm not streaming yet. But still, I was like, I'd like to have a shortcuts. Shortcuts on an additional screen. I can buy one. They're also discount 5%, but still, there is a discount on this thing. I wanted it for a long period of time, and so I bought one. And after that, there came more things, and more. And the same goes with the table. The table I'm sitting at is like almost 15 years old. So I was like, I should get a new one. Like, yes, go to the IKEA, spend $70, and you'll get a perfectly functioning desk for 5 till 10 more years, depending on the usage, of course. But I was like, nah, you know, I'd like a standing desk. So, like, yay. new standing desk. Here we go. And the thing is that if we were talking about me, I suppose I am not so influenced by influencers. I'm more influenced by the desk setups I really like. I was like, that's the thing I really like. Like, I cannot even know the person. The only thing I need to know is how their desk setup looks like. Like, I only need the photo. And after that, I get targeted ads about the stuff which was in the photo. And so I buy it because I like, yes, I like that. I should get it. And that's like, it's absurd. It's really absurd. Also, if we're talking about me, I am from Latvia, as you well know, and I wasn't having like a poor childhood, but I didn't get everything I want. The same also goes to lots of people from Eastern Europe, of course, but if you're living in an Eastern Europe, then probably you didn't have lots of toys, and especially if we're talking about video games, because lots of the families supposed that video games are like something very, very bad. So like traditional toys are better. So that's why I tend to buy lots of games I didn't actually play. For example, right now I will go through my library, which has downloaded on my PC right now, through my Stream Deck, of course, because I've bought it for shortcuts. For example, right now I have installed, only installed, not owned, installed Borderlands 2, Shadowrunner, Horizon Zero Dawn, Ruiner, also CSGO, Raft, Terraria, and Stickfight. Okay, CSGO, Raft, Terraria, and Stickfight, I have played that, but the first 4 games like Borderlands 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, Ruiner, and Shadowrunner, I have played for like 15-20 minutes each. And the problem with that is that I have bought it only because it's on a discount. I like that. And that's the problem. And it brings us to the thing which is like how to change that. How to change this problem of like I'm having adult money, but I want to keep it. I don't want to spend all of it, but still I want to feel happy. So first of all, the thing which I thought about is that you delete like your Amazon app. And you delete the Amazon app, so it adds a little bit more friction in order to order something from the same Amazon or any app which you are using in order to order some stuff. The next thing which I thought about, and that I actually applied it to my life right now because it cannot continue any longer, is that you create a list of the thing which you'd like to buy, and this list, for example, my list looks like this. Forgive me the mouse clicks. It looks like a table. It contains the name of the product, it contains the price, and it contains the link to the product. So, for example, right now I'm having lots of stuff in this list. For example, I have a couple of monitors, I have like another micropad, I have another new boom arm for my microphone, but this one is perfectly fine, it works awesome. Yes, it's cheap as, but it works awesome. Chromecast, some more RGBs, more lenses for my DSLR, a new NVMe SSD, and new webcam. I have already one and I use my DSLR as a webcam, okay. Xbox Elite controller, new keyboard, a new gaming chair, projector, Oculus Quest, new monitor, another DSLR, of course PS5, and so on and so on. And the thing is, of course I forgot, an Rode PodMic, like awesome microphone for $90. And so also XLR cable and Go XLR Mini for this microphone. Like this microphone is perfectly fine. It's awesome. But still, I have this on my list. So how this list actually works. The thing with this list is that you add this to your list, like you see it, you want it, you add it to your list and not to your shopping cart. And you give it something like 2 months. And after some time, not 2 months precisely, but after some good amount of time, you go through this list and you're like, okay, that's a really good thing, but I do not need that. And in your mind is that your mind knows that the thing you liked is written somewhere, and you will buy that thing eventually, and that's why it will stop bothering you. But the pluses of this method is that you can go through this list and you can delete stuff which you do not need. For example, if I'm going through this list right now, the thing which I can 100% delete is, for example, another Macropad, the Huion Mini Key D100. It's like $52 Macropad, but I don't need one. I have Stream Deck. I like that because it's not as pricey as a Stream Deck, and I was like, okay, it has another dial. I like dials, but I don't need that. So right now I can simply delete this thing from my list. And so you can find out which things which you really like or you really need. So this method of lists is really, really awesome, and I like it very much because it actually spared me lots of money. Because, for example, the Oculus Quest 2. Oculus Quest 2 is a VR helmet which is wireless, but it can connect to your laptop, for example, to play Half-Life Alyx. And the thing is that it was on a great discount during Cyber Monday. It costed something about 350 euros for Latvia, with the usual price of approximately 500. And I was like, yeah, I want to buy it. It's on a great discount. I will buy it. Like, I want to play Half-Life Alyx. It's on a discount as well. But I have added that to my list. And after some time, when I was going through that list, I was like, yes, it's on a discount. Now it costs a little bit more, but will my laptop actually manage the VR helmet and VR game good? Or it will simply burn out? Because if you don't know, I don't actually have like a big massive PC with like 3090, 20 terabytes of SSD and so on. No, I have a Razer Blade laptop. It's good, it's awesome, I love it very much, but it has like a Mobile 2060, and it has like i7, but it's also mobile, and the thing is that I have gone through the specs, and I actually understand that my laptop will manage the game not in the best way possible. And that's why it's in my list, but I am deleting it, for example, right now, simply because I understand that it's actually very useless to buy something if you cannot use it properly. Yes, of course, Oculus Quest can be used like discreetly from the laptop, but there are very little games, and the best game available there is like Beat Saber, but the Beat Saber like is the only game which is adequately managed on this helmet, and the others one are like Google Cardboard games. That's why, nah, thank you. So, back to the subject, is that this is very, very good method. I can highly recommend it. Simply writing down the things you really like and things you'd like to buy just in order to keep your money. Also, the other thing is that you after you get your salary is spending your salary right at the moment, but to your another account which you have access to, but which you cannot use as an account from which you can spend money like in a second. Let me explain. It's like a safe. you can get money from that, but you cannot get money from that like in a second. Like, it's not always with you. And you can like send there the most money and leave on your main account the money you actually need in order to survive, like the money for commute, the money for food, and so on. And the rest of the money goes there, and after that you go through your list of the things you'd like to buy, and after that you can simply you go through the list and you can get the money you need from that account, but not in a moment, but you get money from that like in a 1 week period of time, depending on your bank. And so you can really buy some stuff which you need or which you really like, but you can make this decision like intentionally and not like scrolling through your feed and like, yeah, I like that, I'll buy that. So anyway, this problem is really important and it bothered me very, very, very much. But anyway, thank you guys for being here with me. That's it for today, and leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section on my YouTube page, or feel free to send audio messages on anchor.fm/insured. So, thank you for being here with me. Have a great day, and hear you next week.